Hello, my last gamer. Welcome to the video. I just wanted to let you know I do have a Discord and a Twitter if you ever want to interact with me or say hi or have a conversation. And if you ever want to catch these videos live, head over to my Twitch and my Kick and come hang out. I sometimes don't talk. That's unfortunately one of my mini quirks. Is my inability to formulate thoughts as my brain focuses in on what I'm doing, and then I'll just forget to speak. So I'm always up to hang out and chat with anyone that stops by. So hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, it's now time to head to dark side. Knocker as a friend, and you or crew on a freight. Get you and your crew on a freighter to dark side. Once you're there, you can investigate the weaknesses. Now, Marco is like, bring a friend you trust. Now, Cadet, I don't really know. We've only hanged out a little bit. And they are in turmoil with their life. Bliss has been with us and very helpful with this the entire time. Eugen is a mixed bag of, I did save his life, but he also did just lose the entire goal of his life. So I feel like that might be a flipping moment that might happen. Nino is also a very recent addition that I don't know how to feel. Because, like, Marco did specifically emphasize, if you trust them, bring them. Because I might go for Junie, because Junai has only lied to us once, and has been very sorry about that. She's not like... She's a very good data person, so she could possibly hack into things for us as we're on the go. Cadet... Because that's engage skill, I believe. Yeah, I want to take Junai, because I feel like I can trust Junai. Bliss, although Bliss has been hyper helpful, not to throw any shade at Bliss, but the problem is, Bliss has been too helpful. It makes me suspicious of Bliss for some reason. And Bliss might be just Bliss. But I do kind of need the interfacing more than anything else. And I do feel like I can trust Junai the most. It's just, there's the nagging feeling about Bliss. That's the only reason why I don't want to bring Bliss. Ferry hangs over the ragged shipyard of the ring, the aisles and dock. Your eyes trace the fuel line snaking up the underside. Disappear in the dark. Sharp chirp of the pilot's console breaks up the silence. Macro signal that this is it, sleeper. Seraphim settles in the back controls of the rig. He looks over your shoulder. You better get going. Don't be too bored now. I'll do my best. Seraphim smirks. Hopefully that's something to drink in that yard. You glance over to the back of the cockpit. Seraphim clears his throat. Just don't do anything reckless, alright? As you float down the corridor towards the airlock, Marco comes to meet you. Usual swapped gear, out for plain sick overalls you imagine the borrowed from the freighter. You ready to go, sleeper? The crew's replaced. We've replaced already in the yard, so sooner we get on board, the better. He gives you a concerned look. How do you feel? Just fine, thanks. Marco meets your eyes. If you want this to do this, we need to trust each other. He pats you on the shoulder as you cross into the airlock. As the airlock cycles into the yard through a series of shadow passages between docking bridges. Now the time sleeper. As you make your way through the yard, any questions? Any concerns? Speak up now. Will they have to pass any checks? Marco shrugs. This is a freighter of a known ship in 𝓢𝓵𝓮𝓮𝓸𝓻 and makes it routine on the regular basis. They'll have no reason to suspect it. You reach the eventual tunnel and start ascending at the docks. I'll probably have to give them some enforces a smile. Not this. That's it. As you entrance into the dock tunnel, the freighter filling the viewing window, so all you can do is see the plates of the scratch hull. Junai is waiting by the docking bridge, looking sheepish at a set of crew overalls and her legs. Sleeper, is this really necessary? I see you. Was that supposed to be funny? Junai shakes her head. At least there's no chance of us standing out in dark side days. Sorry to interrupt, but we need to go. Marco gestures to the docking bridge. You hit the button, open the door, they glide towards the freighter airlock. As the figure settle in, you're going back to dark side. Dark side sprawls out across the starscape. Its surface, a vast random accumulation of structures, lights, and signs. You have to watch it as the freighters cut across the belt as it grew, cycle by cycle, like a stray stain across the cockpit glass. You're watching it approach the fragmented memories of your time, the past, through your mind, each dissolving in the moment. You try to focus on it, only the sensation to remain. Despair, claustrophobia, fear, all somehow strengthened by the disconnected nature, as it's as if by not being attached to a specific memory, they can run free through your mind, as alive as they were the first moments you felt them. Of moments of feeling. Instructions received. Appreciate Marco in the pilot seat talking to the Port Authority. Incoming to strut 2-3. He turns back to you, clicking off the outgoing comms. First step complete. We're docking it with approval. He raises his eyebrows, noticing your face. Keep it together, alright? Got this. I'm fine. Good. He gets back to the controls. 1 second. Good. I get it. Junai's voice carries across the cockpit, catching your attention. This place comes with a lot of baggage, right? She nods. I can understand that. But you aren't here alone. Not this time. Junai gives you a serious look. I need to look out for you. We'll look out for you. There's a howl rumble through the body of the freighter as Marco brings into dock. The noises of this drafter, the more industrial ship, are different from your rig. You haven't quite gotten used to them. The squawking noise of the camera comm sends Marco scrambling at the controls to submit the docking code he just sent moments before. The agonizing wait and then the chirp of the code accepted. The freighter is docked. Alright, let me go first. I'll talk to the dockers. Start unloading. He clips his seat, and then you're good to go. Okay, I'll wait. Yeah, I'm not a face. I fucking can't talk to save my life. Alright, hold fast. He glides out of the cockpit without waiting for a response. As you hold your nerve, you look at the flickering lights, the different traffic, the airlock clinks and closes again, time dragging on. You turn your attention to the job ahead. See it stretch out in front of you. The dark side seems impossibly vast, too vast for a specific person. But just to find a type of person, someone happy with 𝓢𝓵𝓮𝓵𝓲, ready to risk their life to change this place. Push to the point of desperation or anger. This might be a lot more doable. But first, let's understand it is 𝓢𝓵𝓮𝓵𝓲. I'm gonna say just bo. See how they run this place, where they meet, what they talk about. Find where Bo's weakness. Find where they can be broken, and then think about the pressure that might be applied, not by you, but all of Dark Side. You're tapping in the corner. You see Junai with her deck out, tapping on her lap, dancing on the keyboards. She looks hard at work, focused. What's she working on? Me? Oh, Junai reflectively shuts off the screen, just showing, as if it's showing something illicit. Nothing, just a project of mine, sorry. She pauses, sighs, and turns the deck back on, rotating the clip on the screen to face you. She hits a large key on the four-legged shape appears, draws a simple line, its tail twitching as it sits. It helps me relax. She glances at the screen, coding its behavior. Watch as the cat lifts its palm balls, bats at the handful of pixels, at a fly. Junai switches off the deck again. I'll stay focused on the job, won't happen again. Looks down, clearing her breast. It's cute. She laughs a little. Yeah, I guess it is. The airlock cycles more. Moments later, Marco is in the cockpit, sweating, sweat beating his brow. He takes a moment. His mood uncharacteristically flustered. Well, I bent the truth a little back there, but I think we're good. He runs his hand over his hair, slicking back into place. Luckily, I've had a lot of practice lying to dock workers. He gives you a wink. They'll be unloading later this cycle. They won't be in a rush. We have time as promised. But, sudden injection for his inner relief. You're feeling Bo are watching these docks. That I know for sure. For now, there's another freighter, but all are coming and going. That would be a problem. We gotta try to disable the monitoring. Or get the job done before they become an issue. I'll take a look. Marco nods. I'm sure you will. Either way, we need to get this. We get on with what we're doing. Marco folds his arms. Bo are everywhere. We need to understand them to know what's happening in their organization. We slip under the skin, find out how they work. Marco looks at you. That's what I recommend. Why the fuck does the rig pop up? I feel like that was a slight bug. And now, sleeper, time to turn to your lead. He folds your arms. Tell us where to begin. You feel the tension, the pressure shift to you. Time to find allies, to find weakness, stop running, and resist. Hunting you down. Bo is upset. Is your monitor docks only a certain amount of time before they find you unless you blind them? One of the super monitors guard tech will know, and no Bo tech will know why. Nicely. Dockside debate. The fastest way to get information but deep conversation with dockers is not exactly subtle, though. The safest way to investigate the gates listening to dock workers, you know. Alright, he's bad at listening. You're fucking useless. You know that? You know how fucking useless you are? Tracking forces are hard to spot. Some of the patience, the effort to follow them leads you to their meeting places. System collapse with a screech of white noise. Bo would be blind for, and that goes what goes on in the wash docks now. Dock workers are discussing Bo and reveal a few choice details about their operations. Jack's mostly worthless, but find about where some of the members meet. There's no point of risking it. We have time. You narrow down your search dockers, knowing the bow connections. Many dockers are members of the bow, making this bar a perfect place to score an ID cipher. We're in no hurry. Technically we are, because we do need supplies. But we're not technically in a hurry. I could risk it. I'm gonna risk it, because we only have 3 more days of worth of supplies. Heck, comms, the safe house on the rise. You need to monitor the network. Being combating forces. Let's look for allies. Drunk Docker seems to deliver to the mark. The rolling 3 fucking ones is not a good thing that happened. I might have to start pushing soon. Passively stolen smoothly. This should contain a full cyber entry facilities. You leave the docker's rest with the bow casket at one of their safe houses. Now trick to find one. Make your way to the docks and head down the dark passageway. Sleeper? She cuts through the hiss of the air saying, Marco's gone. You stop at the dark safe passageway, drifting down a quiet connection between 2 thoroughfares. You glance around loose bundles of wires. Stained metal plates. It seems like a safe place to talk. He just left. Junai looks nervously at her feet. He said he had to do something he wanted to do and left. That was it. You pause for a moment, unsure how to react. What's going on? Junai rubs her hands together. I don't know, Sleeper. I really don't know, Marco. And I thought you and Surf and... She tells off. This isn't good, is it? You take a moment. You don't need to panic. Marco brought you here. He'll get you out. You look down the corridor. Easier in wire passage where people drift by. You'll need to deal with something then. If you need to deal with something, then, well, he needs to deal with something. It doesn't mean anything, but sure as hell wish he had given you warning. Surveilling the shorthanded, this job's going to get bad from worse. Yeah, him disappearing is a major red flag. Back to you, safe house. All you need to cipher. You've unlocked. Have to go inside. The unmarked door slides open. You use the cipher. Beyond it, dark tunnel descends the room. Mess of bundled tubes and wires. Entering, you see flickering lights as far as the end. Soft echo, raised voices. Junai gives you a small nod. Let's go listen in. She glances over her shoulder nervously. Drift down the tunnel, keeping your limbs clear at the sides. Your passage through the air. Silent and gentle, you focus on the flickering light, the sounds of voices growing even louder. As you descend through the tunnel, you notice a small dark doorway leading off of the tunnel. Reaches at the bottom, you show yourself, so you slow yourself gently, fingertips grazing in the metal of the walls on either side. Glancing through, you see a doorway that leads out the framework of the balcony, high in the wall, some dark room. You glance down the bottom of the tunnel, you hear voices rising in volume. Sleeper. She hisses from the balcony. You come into the balcony. You come onto the balcony, overlooking at the dark, cavernous room, lit in patches with a bright area. It's filled with people, bow and forces and members, all facing their floating bodies, surrounded by a pool of bright light ahead. The bright light, two figures arguing. Come to the edge of the balcony, feeling a safety granted you by elevation and the cover of darkness. Below, an entire room has attention focused on two figures in the pool of light, watching the audience dark premiere as if they were observing a peace theater. June Evers have arrived beside you, her attention, like yours, onto the scene below. These are my territories. You need to withdraw. One of the features hard to define. Pool of light gestures to the other. There's no need to discussion to be had. Dashi? The other figures, you're pathetic, Oran. The Welsh Gate's a joke like you. He turns to the crowd, you see dark hair in his eyes. Smile like a slit. Hair figure just gathering crowd. Oran makes nothing from the Wash Gate. All that freight he just lets slip by while he soaks up the bribes. Jeering echoes the crowd. Just stealing from you all. Dashi, piece of shit, Oran spits. Words zipping past another man. With no respect. A few of the crowd into the light, gathering beside one figure or the other. Barely more than an enforcer already dictating terms. If you had any idea what was happening in these passages, you'd know it'd be facing sabotage resistance across the Walsh Gate. Orzan shakes his head. Oops, Bo's control is under question. Sabotage resistance, you pretty quietly log their work. Those people you have to find. Dashi smirks in response. I know how it is in the passages, but you are getting soft, Orin. Glances around. You can't deal with some angry shop owners? He makes a show of his mocking laugh. It's easy to mock, but they're organized, and I'm close to rooting out their meeting places. Orin folds his arms. You wouldn't know where to start looking. You say so, old man. In the end, it's only a matter of time before someone ambitious notices how weak you've become. Dashi draws a finger across his throat with a grin. The room erupts and starts. Both sides call off insults while the other crowd air their own problems. Some drifting into the light, others heckle Dashi and Orin directly. Silence, a voice cuts through the room, raised above all else. Noise stops. You lean forward to get a better view. Fucking a woman, Antika, commanding lieutenant. A woman holds her muscled arms in the air, wide, strong, posture control, not surrender. Both of you. She takes her long braid snaking through the air. She does. Enough. It's not where we do things. The chaos replaced by a disgruntled muttering. No one's willing to rise above the murmur. Dashi floats the sun side, coldly folded, while 𝓢𝓵𝓮𝓬𝓽𝓸𝓻 fumes opposite, his hands tightened to fist. So, how the Sunward... So is this how Sunward, the Star Ward, conducts them its business? She shoots a hard look around the room. Animals fighting over scraps. Anika... I'm just calling her Anne. Marin catches Dachi as he speaks. Dachi is the one disrespecting leadership and the trust they've been placed in. I said, enough. Your weakness does not impress me, Orin. Turns to Dashi. And neither does your petulance, Dashi. I'm not sure you're calling weak, Anika. Orin runs her eyes. She may be Lane's favorite, but something you'll never... But I have something that will never change. She looks over at the heads of the crowd. Bring him. Figure they drag in the circle, head light, greasy tangle of dark hair drifting his face. Lift a hand and stick it in the back of their eyes. God damn it, Marco. Judy hisses from beside. Marco's pale like catches gleaming sweat. This one has a very interesting story to share, Orin gestures gather child. I'm sure you're all aware of the bounty Lane's put out on the head of that very valuable escaped sleeper and their accomplices. Well, Marco tells me, he smiles, Marco's eyes look face forward, that sleeper right now on the freighter moored at Welsh dock gates. Rip runs through the gathered crowd, a reflection of value information. You wonder how much cryo is on your head, and Shiva nods. Look into martial eyes, attempting to see if any indications it might be a desperate bid to save himself or betrayal and everything agreed upon. His stare reveals nothing. Now, Lane himself will be returning in 3 cycles, and you can imagine how pleased he'll be if I present the sleeper to him. Nika stares at Orin. You have no business keeping this from me. She folds her arms. I'll be the one that brings the sleeper in. Not so fast, Nika. Orin turns to the gathered crowd. The first one who brings me a sleeper, I'll give you share of the Welsh gate. Shoots across the circle. That includes you, Dashi. Crowd erupts and shouts. Movement assembled and Bo's members suddenly rise, moving towards the doors. You push yourself into the corner balcony, tucking yourself into the shadows. You hear the tunnel filling with voices. Shouts, scuffles. You fear that any moment you'll be discovered, but as time passes, noise subsides. You only open your eyes and the sound disappears. The Bo members are on the way to your freighter. The freighter that's supposed to take you off the dark side. You feel panic rising. You're trapped once more. Sleeper, we need to get out of here. Junai whispers. It's too dangerous. As you ascend through the tunnels, silent and slow, your eyes entrance hoping... I have a feeling Marco 100% fucking betrayed us. There's no other reason why he'd go off alone like that. He wanted to sell us out for all that cryo that's on top of the sleeper's head. That's... I don't care how good Buddy's therapist... Like, that's my only expectation. Is that he went up to one of the lieutenants and be like, hey, I have the sleeper. I want a cut of the reward, and I'll give him to you. Kind of moments. There's no other reason for Marco to be like, I have something to do in the middle of the operation. No member returns, and then you sit back in the main passageway, blinking of light, rest of panels gliding away, entrance, lost in the days. Some of the rise, you eventually stop, not sure where you might be going, but needing to get away from what you just witnessed. Can't go back to the freighter, that's much clearer, but it means no supplies, no place to sleep. That's where Marco... And then that's where there's Marco. Was there always a part of this plan, or was this just in a survival mode? Your mind fills with questions and worries. The path is unclear ahead. Marco, did he realize to give us up shooting where the passageway or face marks the concern? I don't understand, Sleeper. I have a pretty high feeling he betrayed us. Like, that is my gut feeling on the matter, is that he decided... Oh, that because he really, really, really wanted me to come by myself, or my character by himself. I think he tried to betray us, but then fucked up. Gina nods at your voice. You were so sure, authoritative, but masking your own doubts. Your mind races it with questions. Can really live this place with Marco? How would 𝓤𝓵𝓮𝓮𝓸𝓻 react if he actually got caught by 𝓢𝓵𝓮𝓬𝓽𝓮? Can you forgive him? The pressure, you're struggling to be angry with him, perhaps because you were where he was now, under 𝓤𝓮𝓬𝓽𝓮 control. Would you gently escape? Who would you given up? Trapping on the keys, 𝓥𝓮𝓬𝓽𝓮𝓸𝓻 interrupts your chain of thought. You look at her, springing into action. Her pragmatism is her strength, but she does not understand people, what drives them to... To her, Marco's a mystery, but to you, his betrayal is all too familiar. You have to decide how to react. Junior notices, we need to find an empty unit. Up the rise, we have to stay far away from the docks as we can. She meets your eyes. We need to think. Need time to think. To complete the plan. She looks back down the screen. We always do. Somebody chirps in her deck. Okay, I have entry code for a unit up here. He slides the deck. Wait here, I'll be back. See, this is why I wanted to bring the hacker along into the fucking mega cities, because, of course, the hacker could just hack things. Oh, we need someplace to stay? Dude, I got this. We need information? Dude, I got this. Take a moment trying to focus. Maybe you could find those resisting 𝓢𝓵. They might be able to help you, though. You wonder if they ever exist at all, given Marco was the one who reported their resistance to you and 𝓤𝓵𝓮𝓮𝓙. This whole thing being a ploy to collect the bounty to bring you into the dark side. If you search out Marco, perhaps he can answer for you, or better or worse. But then you recall Owen's words: sabotage or resistance. That was an honest plea. Then there's some truth to what Marco said. And 𝓢𝓵 is being resistance. Try to gather yourself. You have to bounce back to come up fighting. Otherwise, the place will drown in your darkness. The problem is I don't got no fucking food. Oh god, that is so bad. Alright, we're gonna spend a night in depressing settings. Because I used all my actions before this. Looking at cold, abandoned unit, unsettling quiet, the air cycle winds, heat diffuses the home, but you're nothing around you, breathe. You are alone. Slowly rise and clip the straps. The bunk allows you to drift up in the air, silence. And then again, that silence, you hear something, a scrape, a scuffle. A scrape or scuff, your eyes draw to the unit doorway, where a shape settle in the dark. You couldn't go too far, it kind of shifts in the doorway. Stay still. Just calm yourself. Holds up both hands. Let's not cause too much damage, she raises an eyebrow. May I come in? Okay, this is... Is she rebelling? Is she the rebellion? I don't have any extra attention right now. What are you doing here? Look, just shut up and listen. She drops her voice. I'm risking everything by coming up here. So don't make this any harder than it is. Well, you need to know this. I'm on your side. I want Darkseid to be free just like you, and I hate Lane just as much as you do. I just have a different method, that's all. You might say better method, given how well your visit went. Visit has gone. Why should I trust you? I'm the only person that can get you off Darkseid, so you better listen closely. She hisses. It's taken me more cycles than you would believe to get this deep into 𝓤, and I'm not about to give it up for one escapee. But Lane doesn't usually run all across the belt chasing lone escapees, even a sleeper. She drifts a little closer, overshadowing. So I need to tell me now what Lane does want you to do. It's important. I don't know. She says, I'm not playing games here. What you don't understand, Sleeper, is that I've been trying to keep safe since I saw you arrive. Your friend hasn't made it easy. Getting himself caught by a bow was bad enough. Then blabbing about you being here, I can only protect you for so much. Where's Marco? I don't run the gang, Owen. I can't risk starting an internal war. Either way, you're lucky that you weren't in the same position. You have immediate thanks for that. So, I'll ask again. Why is Lane pursuing you? Explain about your frames changing. actually think it's more that Lane's literally in my head. Actually, no. No. It makes any sense. No way I'm letting Lane get his prize. Not until I understand more. She gives you a hard look. I can get you out, but I need a couple cycles, and I need you to do something for me. You need to take this with you off station. She produces a thumb drive and holds you. This is everything I managed to scrape from Bo. The key to challenging Lane here, and I know it. Take it to 𝓢𝓵𝓮𝓷. It's tucked away crater in the shoals. It's a massive debris field beyond the hollow. You have to give it to Carmen and no one else. She pressed the drive into your palm and closes your hand. No one but Carmen, you understand? Lane's ride has been cruel. He has spilt too much blood, and when I'm ready, I'll make him pay for that. But Carmen needs to analyze what I got on him to find out what the right place and moment to strike. She meets your eye. I knew a sleeper once. I should have trusted them. She let go, so I'm trusting you. I'll get you to deliver, and that's the deal. And then together we can... Because Sideway grabs the side of your head. A few small plastic keys drift to the air. Run, sleeper. She clubbed her with her fucking deck. She has a shrill whine with Judai's attention, and hers holding a boxy pistol at waist, blinking with the pale indicator light. She points at Judai. Don't do that again. Eka reaches up, touches her temple. You're lucky I don't snap that thing in two. She winces, especially when I came to save your clothes. Good question, with her like, sure. It's a long story. So that means she looks between you confused. Does that mean I shouldn't have hit her? I have to go, sleeper. She glanced between the two. You have to explain the whole thing to your friend if you want to. But I won't be here when you do that. 2 cycles. Be ready to leave. When Lane comes back, you go out. Neither of us wants him to win here. Last piece of advice, forget Marco. Keep your head down and wait for me. Raise your finger. You need supplies, steal them. Look a row on the other side. Keep to yourself. She gives you a hard look and slips out the unit. I think our better time is to spend just trying to track down Marco. Because I physically cannot steal. That is kind of funny. Okay, I have to try to steal food because she's gonna freak out, or she's not gonna be able to help me. I don't. Okay, that was a mistake, because I physically cannot steal more. Oh, this is gonna fucking suck. Within the dark, cloaked and endless shadow of the dark side, outside the window, you see the light, but you don't see them. Your attention instead tugging at the thread of your mind. Lane's closer, you shiver. We're cycling in, you're out. Damn it! Though you have no specific memory of it, there's something unpleasant familiar about the place you found yourself in. Among the many stacks of units raised, scaffolding, reflectors of the way, you found yourself in the corner locked door marked with the signal or it curled back on itself with its own tail, the kind which though kept secrets, assets like you, serve from like Marco. I could break that lock. The door you've been watching, you know, should be a force lazy set side. That's why you know you only have moments before they come back. Break the lock. You slip the shipbreaker chisel, break into the lock, glancing over the shoulder, force the mechanism. Your deft hands angle chisel again, mechanism. You swift strike, handle bolt pops off, lock. You slide the door you're in. A dim corridor ahead of you. Because the funny thing is, I would love food. I just cannot eat. Long cycles between jobs like this. Lanes that are kept safe. A lie that you believed when you first brought to a place like this. More cells, dark, empty, but warm. Those spills forth. You quickly approach to look in. Marco's tucked in a shirt, padded and nice. Any unit, his back turned, a small window. You slam the exterior lock without thinking. Marco turns around to face the door. It's open. Sleeper, he freezes for a moment, unsure of your intentions. He raises his hand to protect himself. You're lucky I'm here. Sleeper, He pushes himself up the berth, goes up to speak, and then stops. Let's get out of here. You get back to the passageway, Marco follows you closely. Time to leave. Lucky me. Came to squeeze a little bit more information out of everyone's prize here, but looks like I got everything I need. Fuck you! Attack Dashi! To the side. Now, stay still. I prefer to leave you laying in one piece. No, fuck you. That cuts deep into your... as you spin onto, but you swing your elbow anyway, connecting with Dachi's face. Once as you move, you feel a crunch of his nose, the solid metal of your skeleton beating. Moments later, Marco and you are sneaking through the passages. I just one-punched the man out of unconscious. So he stabbed me, but I got out. The haze and the pain is fading, but you bear to hold, stronger, desperate to leave this place. It's for all. Alright, motherfucker, I need you to steal supplies for me, because I physically cannot steal. Although I'm going to probably break apart this next sleeping cycle. Man, I'm gonna fucking shatter. Marco rises the berth quickly. You haven't really spoken. You two have kept busy your own injuries. Constant fear Dachi will find you. So far he hasn't. And if as to be believed, trusted, this is your final cycle. Dark side, you wait in silence, no one eager to speak. Fatigue has set in. In this moment, anyone can do is wait for exertion to be over. He's here. Marco nods the door. His silhouetted figure waits. She looks at Marco and then at you. A raised brow only to acknowledge that you went against her advice. Lane's back at Darkside. We have to go now. She looks tired, angry. We won't have another chance. Come with me, quickly, quietly. She turns to pushes out the corner. Shinji turns to you and nods. You first, sleeper. She leads you across the dark side into stopping to look back. The light passages flash by. You barely notice them. All eyes fixed ahead, away forward. Some distant part of the station. She stops. Docking bridge. A small freighter visible through the viewing window. She slaps the door and releases the slide. She grabs your shoulder and looks at your eyes. Lane's focus will be on Darkside now. He has to stop. He needs to stop the infighting to shore up Bo. If it gets out now, he won't. If you get out now, he won't follow. Remember, instructs you: go, give the drive to her, give it to Carmen. No one else. No matter what they say, thank you. She simply nods, and she's gone, disappearing in the endless, wind passages of Darkside. You drift gingerly down the docking tunnel, which leads the cold, sparse cargo bay. Once you're inside, there's a hiss of the door, scissors shut. For a moment, you panic. See no exit, no doors. This metal wall bay is this trap, but then the engines rumble, lift, and begin to and you begin to give in exhaustion. If she has tricked you, at least you're leaving the place behind. As you feel it, cold fingers reaching into your mind. You're so close, Lanes, and you're here. Wrestling is shifting. I can't quite place you. I can't put my finger on you, Sleeper, but I know you're there. What were you doing here? Hoping to confront me, perhaps, or something else? I'm right here, you coward. Come and find me. I'm not ready for you, Sleeper. I admit, I'm not quite ready for you, Sleeper. Flicker a spasm, but so soon will this be all over. Soon, a tone shifts and shrill and capital. Let me show you, a tone hisses. Elaine is in the bay of the freighter. Pull up. Lane is in the bay of the freighter. Pull a consistent of the constant pressure against his chest. Lane looks around, taking slowly inhales, deep breath. Sense of control excites him. This is what his desire. He lifts his right hand to the air, flexing his fingers. Okay, Protocol, come kick him out, please. Then something flickers in the corner of your vision. For a moment, you strain to turn Lane's head. It does not. You swear you see a figure in the bay with you. It opens its mouth as to speak, as if to scream, and then it's gone. A smile grows on Lane's face, spreading tightness of his own pulse. He raises his hand to use a grip on the smallest finger of the other. A pause and a sudden jerk. Lane snaps the finger back against the joint. The pain's intense as yours. It burns the vision away. And then a white heart blindness fades. You look over those metal walls. You hold the same finger in your hand. Release it. Its crooked shape is bent into a silver. A shiver runs through you, and you reach back to your own mind to see if there's any traces of fragments of Rance remains there. Put your own hand on your face and push. You have to push him from your head. The ship continues on its way, arc away from Lane, but you can't help but feel some part of him is still there, behind your eyes, concealed beneath the pain, the snapped finger. Goddamn Protocol! Protocol couldn't help. Still have time if you're ready to discuss everything. There's a journey in the yard, and then disembarking onto the freighter, and then explaining the waiting crew why the ship is impounded and something Marco offered 1,000 apologies for. Thankfully, the crew of the ship that brought you to dark side is sent by her. By Enika. Enika took the others aside and settled them. Though the promise of rehabilitation or threat of violence, you aren't sure, but you expect them to leave together to dark side soon. As you best explain the encounter and her crew, but mention her name sets off a significant reaction with Bliss. The two seem to have history, a relationship that fell apart. Bliss removes themselves. Conversation later on, you find them in the birth staring at the wall. I'm assuming, because I can't remember that many characters from the first game. The only character I really remember the first game is the Warden, and the only reason why I remember is because I watched that religiously, but I can't remember any of the characters. I'm assuming the mentions of people talking about sleepers, like, oh, I met a sleeper one time. There are characters from the first game. The whole time you find yourself in a daze, your skin hurts, your muscles tremble, you don't feel it yourself. You rest a while, and then you do conversation echoes in your head until you find yourself you're able to rise. Sleeper? Marco comes in quiet. Can we speak a moment? Go ahead. Marco nods. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks down. I know I almost cost you everything, but you have to understand something. When they caught me, I was looking for someone important to me. That's why I wanted to come to you. I wanted to get the message to him, to know he was alright. He screws up his face, words bringing pain. I admit, I thought I'd be able to bargain on his behalf to get you both out. Bargain using my life? Can't bring himself to confirm it, but you both know it's true. All I can say is I'm sorry. Okay, this dumb shit did something kind of equally bad, but given his friendship with Seraphim, that's now it's understandable, but it's still fucking annoying. Look, You could use the yard when you get back to the scar yard. There's some components back there. Take what you want. Margaret sniffs. I'm gonna stay here for a while. Doesn't meet your eye. He simply drifts away to the corner. As he does, Seraphim passes by, receiving no acknowledgement. At least Seraphim looks fucking healed. Seraphim gives you a questioning look as Marco leaves. What happened out there, Sleeper? He floats in. Has been more, stretching his skirt arm that was protective sleeve he has been wearing since the first parchment has finally been removed. Bo has been fighting amongst themselves. Explained the meeting with you witnessed the conflict of Orion, Dachi, and Anika's intervention. Explained that Anika takes more little effort, but you'll try to remember everything that happened. He explained that Anika's insistence that she was working against the dark side. Working against dark side. She got you off the station. Explained that Ubi itself is coming apart in with Lane's absence. And that will draw his focus away from you two. She finished. Seraphim waits to finish the response. So this Anika got herself inside Bo. He raises her eyebrow just to try to break it. Grip on dark side. He whistles. Take some balls. Explain the drive. Mention ศ์𝓵𝓮𝓬𝓽𝓸𝓻, Carmen, and hold up the thumb drive to the one that Anakin trusts you. ศ์𝓵𝓮𝓬𝓽𝓸𝓻. I've heard it maybe once or twice. I'm assuming some backwaller colony never met a Carmen, though. What's the thing? Anika did not say. I don't get it. We just deliver this little mystery device at all? Is that what... What do we... Is that what you want to do next? Never... About to cough myself. ศ์𝓵𝓮𝓬𝓽𝓸𝓻. You never heard of it. But it seems like a place you go you want to help. Anika wants to fight back to Lane for the drive, and as you do, you can't help feel you're being used. It's not the first time. One thing I'll say, Seraphim begins clearly thinking about, you want to head back to the dark side, take Lane on Lane. We need to do our ship this time. Crews are some crews get spoof transponders, send out the signal matching another ship, not the one fitted here, but that's something we need to look out for. Sure, you think going back to dark side where Lane waits, shudder fears run through you. Thinking about a moment, he slipped into your mind on the freighter. If you ever go back, you need something to counteract him. But as you recall, the overseer's presence hinted that moment too. His strange form holding the shape as Lane tried to override your control. Perhaps the overseer had a way to resist the signal. My words of the possibilities. Is it really a right move to go back to the place that almost killed you twice? Take on Lane? Seraphim looks expectantly. What do you think, Sleeper? We need to prepare. We can't leave the system. We don't have a fractal drive. Everyone's fighting for a fractal drive. That's a pipe dream to ever leave the system. The theoretical best thing I could ever do is wander off into the belt with extreme plans to prepare to make a colony somewhere deep inside the belt, away from civilization, with plans, the ability to repair myself indefinitely and the ability to make food and all. Like, essentially, I'd have to plan on literally making a living ship that could mine water, make material. Like, it would require a massive amount of investment to leave what's currently out here. Couldn't agree more. Seraphim shakes his head. The next time will be different. Be ready. We'll come up with something fighting, and Lane won't have a clue what's going to hit him. Problem is, Lane can feel me coming. We'll need work. We'll need crew. Seraphim's counting his fingers. We'll need to take that thing to ศ์𝓵𝓮𝓬𝓽𝓸𝓻. We need you strong, Sleeper. Speaking, Seraphim takes out a box of components. I keep myself busy these past nights working on fabricator bays, scatter yards. I figured you could use some of these spares. But first, we need to rest. But first, we rest. I'm so fucking broken. Rig time! We're feeding the fucking cat. I know how I'll waste my glitches away. As I look at the time, I better end it because we're going to be at the last final stretch of this game, I'm assuming. There isn't really much elsewhere to go. I have all the crew. I saved Marco's life. So Marco's like, yeah, you could loot my shipyard or whatever you want. I'm not going to loot it now. Anyway. And the funny thing is I needed Marco to steal supplies. Anyway. Goodbye, recording. We will hopefully finish this up next time. Thank you for stopping by and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a subscription, leave a comment, a like. Maybe head over to my Twitch and Kick and follow me there and say hi. I hope you have a great, wonderful rest of your day.
The night is young, but it feels so old. A story written, yet never told. The mask is heavy, the air